Hey, Fred Reed here. Thanks for stopping in. This week we had a great conversation with the Dark Hollow Trio at the Listening Room in downtown Syracuse. There's upcoming shows right now that they're a part of. It's Kevin Black's presentation of the Big Steve Hour. The Dark Hollow Trio talks about their shows and also the show coming up with Steve Parrish. Steve Parrish being a longtime friend of Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. It's a great conversation. I hope you stick around for it. Let's turn it over to the Listening Room. So, Dark Hollow Trio and Dark Hollow overall, give me a little background on when you guys got together and started and from there, if you would.
1996, I think, was about that time. Ran into Mikey at like a dead night, and we reconnected, and so we're like, oh, let's go to open up Mike night, or play some tunes together, and then that kind of snowballed into bringing other musicians into the fold. But mainly it was Mikey and
Coleman's open mic night.
So it really wasn't a Dead night; it was a Grateful Dead night.
Mm-hmm.
As in, it wasn't a Dead night where you couldn't get a date or something. It was a Grateful Dead.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Grateful Dead night. Yeah.
Hungry Chucks.
There you go. So why when you did, this kind of seems like a little theme here, why did you pick the Grateful Dead as a tribute? Why did you go down that road and not like the Who or Zeppelin or the Rolling Stones?
It just seemed like a lot of people were playing those other bands, which we were, big fans of, or at least I was, But the Dead, the improvisational element to it really attracted me to the music and the songwriting. It just seemed really earnest and genuine.
Right. Yeah.
So that brings me to a good question. I like to ask a lot of bands whether they play their own music or cover music. When you play a song a night, or your set, do you play the songs basically the same way they are on the album, or do you do a little improv or jamming on them and everything when you're playing?
Definitely improv.
Definitely? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really not the same show every night. So people could come out and see you guys 5 days a week and probably see 5 different shows.
Exactly.
But we're still getting the gist of really your love for the Grateful Dead music and that content.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have some shows coming up, Scott, that you kind of contacted me about, that these guys are playing with somebody that was pretty close with the Grateful Dead, and that is Steve Parrish. Am I saying Parrish,
Yeah,
right? Tell me a little what you guys know about him. We don't need to know the details, because I'm sure that's what he's doing, is telling the details, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and bring us a little bit about Steve Parrish.
Well, he landed in California in like 1969 in the Bay Area, and got hooked up with the Dead, and just was living out of his car for actually a little while, and for a couple of years, and became their roadie, and became Jerry's roadie through over time. Became kind of his right hand man, whatever he needed. They became friends, good friends. Right. He was his best man in his wedding. Steve was a big part of the family.
Let me ask that over.
Sure.
It's going to be a big loud noise.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me a little bit of background about Steve Parrish and how it relates to the Grateful Dead and how he connected with him?
What I read was that Steve had attended a Grateful Dead show in 1968 or 9 and basically fell in love with the Grateful Dead. And then through subsequent connections got connected with some of the band members, right. And they basically had said, okay, well, why don't you help us with some road gear? Almost in some sense the way that I connected with you guys. It's like, let me carry your stuff out tonight. And then,
which we appreciate.
And then it just became a relationship of trust and working relationship where he became the guitar carrier for Garcia and the setup of the pedals and the amps and all that stuff. And so essentially Jerry needed somebody who they could trust. Yeah. And Steve ended up being that guy, and through forming the bonds of not only the working relationship but also being friends, they continued that relationship from 1969 all the way up until 1995 at the culmination of what was essentially the end of the Grateful Dead when Jerry passed. Obviously it continues in other formats, but that was the take that I had gotten, was that they had met at a Grateful Dead show, and Steve just said, "Wow, like this is it. This is my vibe. These are my people."
So is Scott going to be here 50 years from now telling stories about how he hung out with the great, you know, the Dark Hollow Trio and stuff?
Absolutely.
How he just
We'll
started.
be long gone. He'll be long gone by then, but he'll be around.
He'll be, well, somebody's got to tell the
And
story.
coherent. That's the amazing part of it.
That's iffy.
After all these years.
Yeah, that's iffy.
Coherence.
That's what amazes me about Steve is he remembers all these stories.
Sure.
I mean, that's unbelievable to me.
So that kind of brings me to the real, one of the biggest things we want to talk about today is these next 3 shows that the Dark Hollow Trio has coming up with Steve and a special guest of his. Tell me a little bit about what's the show consist of that you know of? Because I know this is still like kind of a little surprise for you guys too, but what are we looking forward to hearing in these shows coming up?
As far as I know, he's going to tell stories and maybe do some projector slides. And I'm not sure exactly what's involved in that. That's kind of the surprise of it. But he's going to also have Katie Skeen with him, who's going to be playing guitar throughout his show. So he'll do a 2-hour show from 7 to 9, and then the trio will come on after that.
Oh, okay. So you guys are going to wrap up the night then?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Actually, that kind of sounds interesting because, you know, it sounds like he's going to be telling some stories about a band that's really a part of, you know, American classic rock and many other folk or whatever.
Americana.
Americana stuff.
Absolutely.
That very well known, and I'm sure a lot of people make a lot of assumptions, and maybe he'll either clarify them or deny them, one or the other.
Right.
Scott, when are these shows and where are they?
Yeah, sure. So the first show with the trio will be here in Fayetteville, Friday, March 22nd, and then that's at Papagayos, and so that's got a Mexican theme, so it's called Mexicali Blues, right? That's the theme of the night, it's Mexicali Blues. Saturday night is going to be March 23rd, the following night in Ithaca at La Tourelle. And of course, that's Saturday night, so it's one more Saturday night that we'll have together as a group and as a community together. And
They will also have members of Terrapin Station from Ithaca.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Frank Raponi and Larry Honigbaum.
It's right.
Yep.
Oh, I remember pronunciation.
No, it's trust me.
yeah, and then
Well played.
the third show is in Rochester at the Angry Goat Pub, March 25th.
No theme to that one?
I don't know if there's a theme. It's the theme, I guess, will be the Big Steve Hour and the Dark Hollow Trio, and so there's no necessarily theme. It just was very coincidental.
So besides these 3 shows, what else does Dark Hollow and/or Trio, Solo, and Duo have coming up soon in the next couple of months that we should look forward to?
March 30th, Westcott Theater.
Yeah.
What shows is that? Just you guys, or is it a?
Full band, which
Full
is
band.
7-piece unit with 2 drummers and Mark Manny on keyboards. I mean, it's really just a spectacular, you know.
It's good you bring up Mark because he is the third of the trio,
He's the
correct?
third, yeah.
He is.
Just kind of throw that
He's on the
in.
beach somewhere, I think.
Is he?
Yeah.
But you guys are like
That's
triple
right.
M's or something, Mike and Mark.
Yep.
Or is it Mike
MQ.
Mark?
MQ.
MQ.
Yeah.
Got it. I feel like we're in the metric system.
And Gigawatt will be opening up for us on the 30th.
Now, is that
This
a
is
band
gonna
or
be
is that like
their
MQ?
first show. Well, their first show back with us. They've been playing a couple shows, but back in the day, I'm not going to give you a date because I don't know, but early 2000s, their first show was with us at the Planet 505.
Got it.
So this is kind of an epic, like
And
we're
are they,
moving across the street.
they
but
play the same kind of genre or?
it's like
different
funk
songs?
and
Original
jam
band.
band. Yeah, a lot of jam band funk.
We're
fusion.
excited.
That sounds
They're
like
good.
it
They're good
fits.
friends of ours. So yeah,
At the Westcott, you said March 30th.
the Westcott 30th.
Tickets
Gigawatt,
involved?
Dark Hollow, yeah.
Tickets involved?
Yes.
Okay, and they can get the tickets on westcotttheater.com, I think is the
Creative
website.
Concerts.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's that? Oh,
Creative
Creative Concerts,
Concerts.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Anything else? Anything else we should know about? You guys replace the strings on your guitars and,
Not in a couple years.
okay, so that's good.
It's been
They'll be
a few
right in
years.
tune
That'd be perfect.
then.
There is the So Many Roads Festival coming up this summer. So July 7th, there's essentially what is a connection of a bunch of Grateful Dead bands coming together down at the historic Arrowhead Ranch and Retreat which is down near
Tri-state area?
Yeah, tri-state,
yeah.
down Poughkeepsie way, down near New Paltz in that general area, Catskill region. And so Dark Hollow full band will be there for that. It's July 7th. But there'll be a series of Grateful Dead bands there from all over New
Yeah,
York that are
right.
coming together.
Isn't there one more sooner than that? That's
Yes.
like
Oh, yeah.
has to deal with like
Yes.
a police code or something? That's
Yeah.
at the Palace?
Aha!
We were getting to that.
Oh, okay. I'm
Group mind.
I
Got
won't-
some group minds.
We went far out there.
I won't roll over your lead on that then.
Oh,
yeah.
Very good.
Nice.
Good friend of mine sets it up with you, so you guys are there with
Barn Dogs and Radio Floyd.
Radio Floyd, yes.
We're excited about
This would be a
that.
fun
That
one.
was a great show last year. It
was a lot of
a really great show, and now it's on the right day this time.
That's
Yeah.
With the almonds,
Different
as opposed to the
years.
doors, so the Barn Dogs are
Yes.
going to do almonds this time.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good switch
Yeah.
up. I let you
Which they did great.
not to
with
talk
the
about another
doors,
band. They did a great job with the doors too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to have some dealings with you guys
Crit's
soon.
Farms. Don't
Oh,
forget
sorry.
about Crit's Farms.
Crit's Farms, go ahead.
May 11th is my birthday.
And
And that's the first day at Crit's Farms. The first date at Crit's Farms of 3.
no kidding.
So.
No kidding.
June.
15th or 16th.
June
And then September, like
Yeah.
third week in September,
Yeah.
whatever that third Saturday in September is. So,
Those are full band shows.
Those are full band, yeah.
and they sell out. I mean, they really think they're like
That's a great,
every
great
one of
venue
us
to
is
play.
sold out.
We really love our, deal with Crit's Farms.
We go there for trees.
I do as well. It's a great place for trees.
So I know that we have the trio on our calendar quite often too. So you guys have a lot of things going on this year, which is really good to hear. I hope to catch you playing soon and singing and stuff, and then I'll know that you're worthwhile to play along with Mike, because I have enjoyed seeing Mike a couple of times now. And Mike, I really enjoyed watching you play, and you're a lot of fun to watch. And you're
It's
really
an honor
great,
to
great songwriter, guitarist.
Absolutely. And you put these two together in the duo, and
Wonder Twin Towers.
yeah, and it becomes something that's bigger than the two of them combined. It becomes, in essence, a Grateful Dead show. But then you add in Mike O'Hara's solo stuff, right? The things that he does, and so you can catch a little bit of everything inside that Dark Hollow show, or the Dark Hollow duo show.
The trio stuff.
In the trio, and then you add in Nanny for the trio, and it just escalates. So, I mean, just seeing these guys together in any venue is always a crowd pleaser and fun to do, and I try to catch them as often as I can.
Well, he's got to have stories to tell.
He does.
Absolutely.
You gotta be there for me.
You gotta be there to catch the stories.
I have this shaved off like
Got
that.
good ones today.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a great story.
This time I was talking at the light room. And no,
That's right. Nice.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out. I hope to see more from your agency and working with more groups and everything like that.
For sure.
Old Atlas Endeavor. All right.
Glad
Thank
I
you.
met you, Mike. Nice to
Thank
see you
Frank.
again, Mike.
Appreciate
Nice
it.
to meet
And
you.
Scott, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Guys have a great day, and I hope everybody stops down to the listening room at 443 more often as well. We really thank them for letting us host our recordings here, and we hope to see you guys soon. See you.